Hey, what's up? I'm the normal player guy, and hey, hope you're having a very especially majestic evening. And hey, did you also check out the data download? Who are we gonna look good on this? So we have two brand new LRs and a whole bunch of EZAs inbound. Yes, still no word on Int Black. Can you believe it? But we have the two new LRs, so we're going to focus on them, and then we'll touch on a separate one for the four easy A's. Man, there's a lot to cover on this. Okay, so we're going to go through the first one, and that is Spirit Bomb Sword Trunks. Hope at the end of a deadly showdown. Seems pretty great. I've had a quick look through these. They seem pretty decent, so we'll have a quick look into them. So time travelers 3 key 200%. So basically these LRs are going to be much like the 8th anniversary Carnival LRs that came in. You got the Int Gohan and the AGL Goku. They'll be pretty much the same sort of spec. Still really powerful though. Time Travelers 3 key 200%, which is pretty good. Finally, a flat out 200% for Time Travelers. They have got a mega buff recently, right? This entire campaign is just all about it. I mean, this entire page is basically for it. The only thing missing is black. Anyway, right, so we have an entrance animation, which probably will be really good, factoring that it's this particular one. This will be good, especially if it's this unit's particular point. So we have 3 key, and you launch an additional attack that has a 70% chance of becoming a super attack for the first 4 turns from appearance. Otherwise, you have 3 key, 150%. So that's good. So you're getting 6 key at the start for 4 turns. You get an additional 100% attack on super attack. In fact, bear in mind this is LR power. You get 1 key up to 5 and defense up to 50 with each attack performed. So that doesn't matter if you end up doing additionals, just like normals, which you will have built in here. So you receive damage, so you reduce damage received by 10% with each super attack performed up to 30. So with this procs, then you'll have 20% damage reduction, won't you? Plus, you'll also be getting 2 key 20% defense. Let's have a look. An additional 100% attack and a guaranteed normal that has a 50% chance of becoming a super attack as the second or third attacker. So you actually get that as well. And then you guaranteed another additional attack, which has another 50% chance to become a super attack from the 5th turn. Dude, what is your super attack effect? You 30% raise for the turn, and your 18 key stacks defense. 50% raise to attack. You stack defense. Not too bad because you're getting like 3 key here, 3 key here. You're building up key. Plus, you're going to have 3 key here. So you're already sitting on 9 plus 10, 11, 12. Yeah, without a doubt, you're probably going to be sitting on a super attack prior to links, right? You might be on like 10, 11 key. It all depends. But by the time your next rotation comes around, you should be auto supering. You do stack at 18 keys, so that's fine. There's no key up mechanic, but I don't think you strictly need it. Okay, so let's check out the because you get you do stack defense and you get a huge amount of attack on super attack, and you get even more as the second or first attacker. So let's have a look. So coming in at 55%, pretty respectable 14,500 defense, dude. That's actually really strong. Coming in with 14,000 attack as well. If you just had one dupe coming in with 50, nearly 16,000 defense. One dupe, if you'd be lucky to do this, would be insane. And then a nice 17,000. Wow, that's actually pretty incredible defense. That's ridiculous. Yeah. But coming in at 55%, really, really strong. Yes, there is a world of difference, but 55% looks really, really strong. Let's have a look. So let's have a think. So so you have the 3. This is 6. This is 9. This will make 10 plus links. Yeah, no, it's going to be pretty great. As slot 1, maybe not. No. So this unit's definitely a slot 2 or 3. That's for sure. But again, it's slot 2 or 3. You'll have another chance to attack and a huge amount of attack. So I mean, you would get 200% attack, which would be pretty insane. Your defense builds up. So let's have a look. So you do your super attack. So that's one attack. This is a second attack. So that's double super. Let's have a look. This is triple super, and then so you could triple super in slot 2 or 3, and then you could launch an additional attack. So you could quadruple super from the 5th turn, but otherwise the first 4 turns you would have you could triple super. The first one potentially stacks defense, the rest just give you a small raise. But more importantly, with every attack you do, I mean, if you triple super, you get 3 key 30% defense, of which you're getting 30% defense, right, from this. So you would build up quite rapidly, and then your next rotation, you'd be strong. By the time you hit turn 5, I suppose, you would already have this. Let's see, you need 5 attacks. You could triple super plus hidden potential system for 4. So theoretically, on turn 3, the first turn of turn 3, your first attack might will be the one that builds you up to max, but then your next ones will be. So he's definitely a slot 2 or 3 kind of unit. You want to keep him in slot 2 if you can to build him up. But yes, he does have a huge amount of key, and this is prior to links, so he's not going to be that up hungry, but 18 key might just be the way to go because he does stack. Then again, all these normals, yes. So how would you build him? Honestly, personally, I'm thinking dodge, because he has all these additionals, and this is a 70% chance, and the rest are all 50% chance. Now, if you go for additionals, you're stupid. I would personally say, I mean, he's going to hit hard, so you wouldn't really argue crits, although they would do some crazy damage. Personally, I would say dodge, right? He has damage reduction. He's going to, which, I mean, that will hold to some amount. I mean, it's each attack before, which each super attack performed. So in order for this to actually build, you need all of these to proc. Now, if this was just 10% damage reduction with each normal attack performed, like just any attack, he'd be probably broken. But of course, slot one's probably not his forte even still. But this is still good because, I mean, like you have 10% with each super attack, so you do your normal one. If this procs, then you could quite easily be on 20% damage reduction, which is pretty decent from that point. If you do happen to get the rest, that is 30%, but that's something. Slot 2 could be pretty good. So what are we talking about in terms of links? So we got Golden Warrior, we have Royal Lineage, Super Saiyan, Dismal Future, Prepared for Battle, Fierce Battle, and Legendary Power. Okay, so Golden Warrior is pretty common. We got 1 key. Prepared for Battle is pretty common, and that's 3 key. Royal Lineage is fairly decent, so that's 5. And then, of course, so we got 7 key potentially from links. All of them not exactly a bad stretch. So let's have a look. Future Saga, Hybrid, Vegeta Family, Super Saiyans, Bond of Master, Bond of Parent, Miraculous Awakening, Power of Wishes, Superheroes, Earthbred Fighters, Time Travelers, Revenge, Battle of Fate, Battle of Wits, Entrusted Will. Okay, so Time Travelers, Future Saga, definitely a good buff. Miraculous Awakening, Power of Wishes, really nice. Superheroes, sure. Revenge, Battle of Fate. These green ones, definitely. The red ones, absolutely. You could use them on any one of these, and they would help out. I'm thinking like Entrusted Will. I'm thinking Revenge, right? That's what I'm thinking. Yeah. So he does have an active skill, or rather a transformation. It is actually basically the equivalent of a one-hitter giant turn, one-hitter quitter giant. We'll touch it in a moment. So let's have a look who is the best linking partner. So we have up to 6 links and 16 teams. Or if you're using the same guest and lead, 18 teams, but 16 teams. So what would you share? Everything basically but legendary power, right? But you are getting Golden Warrior, Royal Lineage, Dismal Future, and Prepared for Battle. So you are getting 7 key. And this dude's easy A. Check out those videos I did. They're utterly bonkers, right? This dude is pretty incredible. He builds up very quick. Once he hits the Super Saiyan form, that's it. He's off to the races. And look at these teams. Teams like with these greens here: Revenge, Battle of Fate, Battle of Wits, and Entrusted Will. That's a huge buff. What a dynamite duo. Of course, best unit in the game still is probably going to be these. And of course, you get Royal Lineage, Dismal Future, and Prepared for Battle. So you are getting that. You're not going to get Golden Warrior, of course, but you're still walking away with 6 key. And again, we're talking Battle of Fate, we're talking Time Travelers, Vegeta's family, which is kind of difficult, but again, it's had buffs. These trunks are actually pretty good, super physical. Speaking of super physical, this guy is still, not without a shadow of a doubt, pretty great, right? We are talking 8th anniversary LRs because of Battle of Fate and Battle of Wits and Power of Wishes that they both have a 200% on. So that could be really good. Transforming Vegeta, sure. Okay, so we got the 3rd anniversary units, pretty decent. And then, of course, this LR Carnival Goku, again, sharing like 4, 5 key or something, and we're sharing some pretty decent teams. So overall, it's actually really good. We do happen to have, let's have a look. So we have some free to play options. There's one. There's so there. So he is Prime Battle, right? So you would have to awaken him because I believe his SSR is not this. So in order to do some free to play grinding, you would need to this, and this also is an awakening of a free to play unit. Same with this. So this might be easiest way. Otherwise, this you'd have to grind the Prime Battle to TUR or this guy. So not strictly against the world. Even if you only did it halfway, it will probably help out a lot. There are some options. Overall, pretty decent. So we just check out then what the one-hitter quitter is. So you can do this from the 5th turn. There's no other mechanic at all, no other hidden thing, no HP restriction, no amount of attacks, no nothing. 5th turn, and you can enter it. Now, what is it? Well, it's basically a one-hitter quitter just for the turn. On this particular one, you're guaranteed 12 key, 200% to attack. So the 12 key basically means you get your 18 key, right? It's supposed to be that. It's supposed to be you get the highest amount of damage. You get 150% extra on your super attack. Worth noticing, your super attack doesn't actually change. So, of course, your greatly raised attack on your 18 key, which you'll probably auto get just from this. So you get 150% on super attack, which again is pretty decent. You get an additional attack that has a 70% chance of becoming a super attack, and you reduce damage by 50% for the turn for the start of turn. So when you first appear, you have 50% damage reduction as well as a guaranteed additional 70% chance. So that's pretty good. So you'll be able to use them in slot 1, and it's probably designed that way, where you have this incredible amount of stat buff, and then you have this damage reduction, so you can actually use it before you die or something. So guards all attacks and launches an additional attack that itself has another 70% chance to become a super attack as the first attacker. So you guard all attacks and launch as the first attacker. So if you're in slot 1, super attacks could hurt, but you do have damage reduction going for you, so you could possibly survive. Once you attack and this is helped, then you guard and still have damage reduction, but it's on first attacker. Honestly, if you're going to give us this, you might as well just say guards all attacks, right? Just for the turn. Because it's just one turn. Why not just say you guard, period? It's just for the turn, right? So you launch an additional super attack. So that's a guaranteed additional super with 5 or more key spheres. That'll be pretty easy, and also you'll want to for a reason. And you randomly change to rainbow. Now, the reason you want to do this is because you can do this from when charge counters once or more, but per orb you get on the turn, you get 50% attack. Now that is utter madness. The dude's going to be doing like 30 million, 40 million. He legitimately might be one of the hardest hitting LRs in the game, period, because of this. Now you only get it for the one turn. So ultimately, it kind of depends on how many orbs you get. Now, you're very more than likely going to get this. Now, the fact that you're going to have your 18 key, which you're going to have 50% attack per orb, as well as factoring in you get 150%, right? As well as the fact that you're also guaranteed an additional super attack and a 70% chance to super attack, the dude's going to put out damage like nothing else. And of course, you'll revert back. But this will be insane. Yeah. Factor in the fact that let's say you've been stacking your defense a little bit. That with this, with the 50%, you should be able to survive everything but perhaps anything who belongs to STR, who is mega. And honestly, I don't really know. There might be a few red zone stages which could catch you out. There's the Broly one, right? The second to last forms, what? STR could possibly get caught out. But yeah, otherwise everything remains the same. So altogether, really, really powerful, and I really quite like how this is done. It's pretty decent. You get plenty of key. You have tons of attack from links, and you got all these built in. So again, dodge probably would be a really good way of going about this. You could go crit because of his high attack, but all these additionals, you just don't want to go additional. That's you just cannot. And that being said, of course, I like the 55% stats. These are actually really nice. The attack is a little on the low side, I must admit, but the defense is pretty great. But then again, you factor in his attack is low, but he's like got all this. He's got 100% here. He's got 100% here. He's got it's just ridiculous. His super attack will actually help out a little bit. His 18 key does still greatly raise attack. Factor in all this, his attack's probably fine. And I really love how flashy this is as well. This is absolutely insane. Honestly, it looks like Trunks just turned Super Saiyan Blue, isn't it? Okay, so now we have Gohan. Double LR. Wow. Okay, so Future Saga, 3 key, 200%. Honestly, between Time Travelers and Future Saga, this will probably be the lead for most people because this dude's on Future Saga. But this dude is not on Time Travelers, is he? I don't suppose he's on Time. He's not on Time Travelers, so this will be the main lead. So that's pretty good. So I like this. This is super flashy. It's got Piccolo and Goku on the side. It looks pretty good. So yeah, let's have a look. So you have an entrance animation, pretty nice. Could be something when he takes his last stand, which would be really nice. Now you have 5 key, reduce damage by 40% for the first 5 turns. That's really nice. You have 3 key, 158% to stats. There must be a reason why it's 158 because a lot of Gohans have this. Every future Gohan has that. So tell me if you must, but there must be a reason why it's that. So you have 40% damage reduction, LR stats, and 158%. So you're actually getting 8 key for a little while. So what? We have 1 key up to 5, attack and defense. So you get attack as well, 20% up to 100 with each attack performed. So that's just any attack. So you'll build up quite nice. Further damage reduction of 20%. Wow. So you actually get, okay, so you get an additional damage reduction of 20% and launch an additional attack. That's a 50% chance to become a super attack when key is 18 or more. Wow. You are guaranteed an additional super attack when key is 20 or more and creates the domain city, the rainy, for the 5 turns, starting from the 5th turn. And whilst that's active, int to STR, and you are guaranteed a crit when key is 24 popping the active skill. Wow, okay. So the dude's a tank. So what? For the first 5 turns, you get 40% damage reduction. You have a further 20% period flat out. If you have 18 key, you have a further 20%. Dude's got 80% damage reduction for the first 5 turns. It's not as if, I mean, you get your 8 key here. This is building up, and then you're going to have links plus the fact you got 3 here. Dude's not struggling. 8, so you got 11 key, 11 key, then this prior to any links. That is insane. This is ridiculous. What is his super attack effect? His super attack effect on his 12 key greatly raises attack and raises defense. Okay, 18 key massively raises attack. Massively raises attack. So that's massively stacks attack and greatly raises defense. Dude, is that right? Do you massively stack attack? That's 100% to attack. Whoa, Jesus. And you get a 50% defense for the turn. Whoa, Jesus. How do you get 100? How do you massively stack your attack? I mean, defense we've seen, is this the first unit that massively stacks an attack? Wow, 100%. But dude's going to be hitting ridiculous, right? 100% stacking attack. You're going to have 11 key at the start of turn. You have 80%. Even if when this runs out, you get 18 key. And you're going to have 40% damage reduction before you even do anything. Because this isn't, say, like on attack. You just get the additional when you hit it. You're guaranteed an additional super attack when key is 20. You build up key. Dude, by the time you, so what, you've got the 8 key, 9, 10, 11, and this will build up to 17 key. Dude, you need 1 key to trigger that, and then you need 3 to trigger this, of which, as I say, you will still greatly raise attack. Wow, you actually greatly stack attack. You greatly stack attack. Jesus. Um, wow, the dude's a monster. Yeah, okay. By the way, so yeah, what are his stats for LR? Coming in at 55%. Wow, start of turn will be pretty pissed because it's only 10,000 compared to Trunks, which has 14,500. Comparable start of turn defense. So this dude, he will have way less defense, way less. But factor in the fact that he's got 80% damage reduction for the first 5 turns. Otherwise, he's got 40%. Yeah, that's pretty nuts. His attack is pretty respectable, actually more. And then that's actually pretty broken. He actually has more attack, and he's actually greatly stacking him. And this is insane. At 100%, he still has less start of turn defense than a 55% Trunks. So Trunks has a higher start of turn defense, but this dude has the damage reduction and the attack to back it up. Because dude, 19,000 attack is something. So it goes up to 11,500 defense, which is more modest. But again, that attack actually is a big buff, isn't it? Jesus, you get a huge amount of buff for 69%. That's ridiculous. Dude's damage reduction is going to be insane. Dude's power is going to be insane. While defensively so like the first few turns, he's probably not going to be great compared to Trunks. His higher sort of turn stats, and then this. For a while, Trunks will be the hardest hitter. But don't get me wrong. When this guy fully builds up and his defense, because don't forget, you get a 100% defense, right, on this kind of stuff. 100% defense on this kind of stuff after it comes up. So let's have a look. How long would it take realistically? Because you have an additional attack here, you have an additional attack. So at 1, 2, you only have 2 additional attacks. So you could build up, so 3. So you would still need, so by the time you're fully built up, so it'll be like turn 5, I'd imagine. By the end of turn 3, you'll be fully built up. So by turn 5, maybe turn 7, you could end up being stronger than Trunks. But yeah. Okay, so by the way, you have an active skill, which of course turns it into the Rainy City. So what happens when it's the Rainy City? Well, of course, at 24 key, you have a guaranteed crit. But when you have an active skill, the active skill can only pop when you're in when you're in the Rainy City. So what do you get? Massively raise attack and causes a lot of damage. You get 5 key, 20% defense in battle. Well, that's good because it says here that you will take more damage by extreme class enemies by 30%, and your extreme class allies will also take 30%. So bear in mind that whilst you might take 30% more damage and will probably survive, your allies might not. If this allies didn't exist, it might not be so bad, that extra 30%, but everyone in there will. Strictly being though, if you're going to run this particular guy as your lead, while it does give you the flexibility to use the extreme units, you're probably going to run a super base build. These are both insane LRs. Of course, no doubt that they work well together, right? You're getting key here, you're getting 3 key hits, you're getting 3 key. So again, they aren't going to struggle. Now, what are the chances you're going to run them side by side? Well, you either get really lucky or you're a whale. Personally, I might put a few hundred stones into each one myself just to test the waters, but I'll probably end up looking for guests in order to showcase the banner. Should I end up pulling them, which you never know, then yes. Mind you, that being said, I do happen to have plenty of coins, so I could easily pull them up on the next time they pop around. So yeah, so how do you build this guy? Well, this guy, well, you could go additionals only purely just so you can build that up because that's just any attack. But ultimately, I mean, you could go. I wouldn't say crit because the guy is going to be a monster powerhouse, but you could go dodge. Remember, dodge is the one thing that avoids anything. You could go additional or dodge. Unlike Trunks, where you could just go pure dodge, because he has the additionals and he has high attack. But yeah, so that'd be something. So those are the two new LRs. They sit pretty well. This is the future Gohan. As you can see, there are some pretty respectable ones. This guy's got a pretty solid DZA. He's still pretty good. These are useful, and this will probably be the strongest. And when it comes to Trunks, there are a few good chunks in this, right? You got a few easy A's, which we'll cover in the next video. This guy is pretty solid. These guys are pretty good, best unit in the game. But in terms of like standalone chunks, yeah, he is still pretty great. So you know, and these two are still hold up well. In fact, even these two still hold up fairly well. In fact, these two still hold up really well. So again, Trunks gets a lot of love. So, yes, there is only one other thing to touch now that we've talked about these and how to build them, and that is what is the banner? Well, allow me to pause and bring it up because I believe someone managed to post a pic off the banner. Just give me one moment. And this will be what it is that I can find. So someone under the name of Asuna or Minato, or whichever one that they call themselves. So this will be the banner. So there are some pretty ridiculous units on this. This is the AGL we just talked about. Now these are probably the worst ones on here. You have Tech Goku. He is now legitimately 2 years old, believe it or not. Or is he last year's? No, is he not last year's? No, he's last year's. So he's a year old by now. So that is bonkers. Bulma is only a few months old, and Zamasu's less than a year old. All of these, except for maybe these by now, all of these are bonkers. We all know that Bulma is legitimately like possibly a top 10 LR in the game, top 7 LR in the game, because she is ridiculously powerful, especially for the Earthlings team and Earthbred fighters and all that kind of things, right? Dragon Ball Seekers and DB Saga. She is huge. She is an absolute beast. Zamasu, really good. He is more dependent on his links. He got if once they're fully grinded up, and once you have a great team set up built around him to complement him. For example, say like if Black's EZA ever dropped, or maybe AGL Samasu, who has actually, funny enough, dropped, then yeah, he will have a fantastic partner. So this is a ridiculous banner. Looks like the first round is discounted. Beyond that, so it's 25, 30, and 45 for each one, for each banners. Now, this imagine pulling the new LR for 25 stones. That is how bizarre people are going to get. And you'll have tickets, which would be pretty insane. So yeah, that's pretty good. Do we have a picture of the other banner? Imagine that. You do the discounted summon, you pull him on the new unit, and then someone could pull him on the free one. We don't have a picture of the other banner? No, that's fine. Okay, fair enough. So that is going to be the banner. So yeah, that's pretty great. Of course, there is a ticket pack as well if you wish for the ticket pack, so that's fine. But yeah, so that's what we're going to have. We have a whole bunch of new stuff coming up. Tons of EZAs, tons of new units, probably some difficult content to come to boot. So that will be great. Anyway, thank you very much for watching, and I will see you on the next one. Thank you, and bye bye.